We're here today with David Rowe, Professor of Law at the University of Miami School of Law in Coral Gables, Florida. Good evening, Professor Rowe.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm well, thanks. We'd like to ask you about the upcoming symposium at the University of Miami School of Law to inaugurate the new Caribbean Law Yearbook.
Well, the symposium will feature two significant speakers. The keynote speaker will be the Honorable Dr. Peter Phillips, former Minister of National Security of Jamaica, who has a doctorate from the SUNY school in the United States. Mr. Phillips has a regional reputation for both erudition and effective governance, and he will be talking about the extradition crisis in Jamaica from a Caribbean standpoint. We have another speaker, Wadie Crawford, who has a tremendous reputation in U.S. law enforcement, both for probity, efficiency, honesty, and fair play. And Mr. Crawford, a former senior executive in the Drug Enforcement Administration, will be speaking about the extradition crisis from an American standpoint. And I will be making a contribution, and Alexander Bertel, the editor of the Caribbean Yearbook, the first editor of the Caribbean Yearbook, outstanding University of Miami Law School student, will also be making a contribution. Other students will participate, and we think the symposium will go very well.
What kind of impact do you think the symposium will have on discourse concerning the extradition crisis, and then more generally on sort of the future of Caribbean law and the study of Caribbean law?
Well, I think that it will be considered historically the first academic evaluation of the U.S.-Jamaica diplomatic brouhaha or diplomatic row concerning the extradition of Christopher Coke and the legal issues that were attendant to this conflict, problem, or row between the two countries, a significant Caribbean country and a significant metropolitan country. I think that the symposium will also bring Caribbean legal issues of a transnational nature to the forefront of the American legal community.
Professor Rowe, can you speak a bit about the Caribbean Law Yearbook, which is the first legal journal of its kind in the United States?
Well, under the guidance of our dean at the law school, the yearbook has been inaugurated this year, and students who take the course Caribbean Law or Caribbean Law 2 will be able to contribute scholarly articles on Caribbean law issues to the yearbook as part of their course, their research course at the University of Miami Law School, and also as part of their research paper exercises at the University of Miami Law School. This yearbook will be a compendium of different courses in different subject areas, some relating to crime, some relating to civil law, some relating to property, some relating to admiralty, some relating to public international law, some relating to private international law. And it is hoped that it will be an annual exercise which will produce a plethora of Caribbean scholarship for the future.
What do you think this means for the study and the reputation of Caribbean jurisprudence in the Caribbean and abroad?
Well, the Caribbean law has been emerging as an integral and important separate study of common law jurisprudence. We have the Caribbean Court of Justice, we have the Privy Council, we have the courts of appeal in the different Caribbean jurisdictions, which have established a unique Caribbean common law developing out of the reception of British law and the embroidery of domestic Caribbean tribunals. This unique common law is going to be developed and studied in the United States, in Miami, and a city which has been governed by Caribbean law influences and affected by Caribbean political and transnational issues for decades.
Professor Rowe, thank you very much for your time, and we look forward to seeing you on Friday the 19th at the first annual Caribbean Law Symposium at the University of Miami.
Thank you, sir.